chocolate, she died for the future. And Dylan, he wrote poetry. In Texas, they still talk about laws like Willie and Waylon Me. My name is David Allan Coe, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. There's some Texas music's in the making. We've been making music that is free, doing one-night stands, playing with our bands. Willie, Waylon Me, Chris. Like the stones, I was rolling along like a ship lost out on the sea. And chocolate, she died for the future. And Dylan, he wrote poetry. But in Texas, they still talk about laws like Willie and Waylon Me. Do you? I get off of this mountain, you know where I'm gonna go. Straight down the Mississippi River to the Gulf of Mexico, to Lake Charles, Louisiana, little Bessie girl I once knew. Told me just to come on by if there was anything she could do. Up on Cripple Creek, she sends me if I spring a leak. She means me and I don't have to speak. She defends me a drunkard's dream if I ever did see one. Good luck had just stung me. To the racetrack I'd go. I bet on one horse to win. She bet on another show. The odds were in my favor. I had all 9 to 1. And that night the wind came around the track, sure enough we had won. Up on Cripple Creek, she sends me if I spring a leak. She wins me and I don't have to speak. She defends me a drunkard's dream if I ever did see one. Then I called her my big mama, tell her how you rode again. But deep down inside, you know I'm kinda tempted to go and see my Bessie again. Up on Cripple Creek, she sends me if I spring a leak. She mans me and I don't have to speak. She defends me a drunkard's dream if I ever did see one. Oh, Jody, like a melody, you play inside my head. Till thoughts of you are small and I can stand. Hey, just to think of having you as music to my soul. You make me feel as though the world is in my hand. Jody, like a melody, you want me and then leave me with you. I can't believe the sun will rise without me looking in your eyes, knowing that your love belonged to me. Why you left, I never know. The fire you build will always glow. I only know I'll find you gone. Jody, like a melody, you want me and then leave me with a chill. Come, hey Jody, I can't keep my thoughts about me in the daytime when your memories enough to make me blind. And late at night I lie awake and I wait for you to come. When you don't, you know I almost lose my mind. on my wife, Miss Jody Lynn Coe. Jody like a melody. And you might wonder why I write such great songs about this lady. I'll tell you why. She followed me to Texas. She followed me to Utah. We didn't find it there, so we moved on. Things looked good in Birmingham. We had some fun in Alabama. We didn't find it there, so we moved on. And I know you're tired of following my elusive dreams and schemes, for they're only fleeting things. My elusive dreams. She had my child in Memphis. I heard of work in Nashville, but I couldn't make it there, so we moved on. To a small farm in Nebraska, to the gold mines of Alaska. We couldn't find it there, so we moved on. And now we've left Alaska, 'cause God knows there wasn't no gold mines. Oh, but this time, darling, just the two of us move on. And now all we have is each other, and a few old memories to cling to. Ah, but still, you tell me, you won't let me go to London alone. And I know you're tired of following my elusive dreams and schemes, for they're only fleeting things. My elusive dreams. Traveling with the rodeo, that's the only life I've ever known. It started in New Mexico, must have been 100 years ago. Now it used to be the best, they say, at riding young wild horses for my pay. Now I'm much too old, it seems, only ride wild horses in my dreams. They used to tell me, ride 'em, cowboy, don't let 'em throw you down. You can't make no money if you hit the ground. They just said, ride 'em, cowboy, don't let 'em throw you down. You're the toughest cowboy in town. Well, I've always been the rhinestone cowboy. I don't care what Glenn Campbell has to say. What am I supposed to do? Midnight was a champion, but he's the only bronc I could not ride. Now they tell me Midnight's blind, he only rides the children for a dime. Ladies ladies used to hang around. I must have been a hero in their eyes. My silver spurs are rusty now. Lord, I wish I'd tried to settle down. They used to tell me, ride 'em, cowboy, don't let 'em throw you down. You can't make no money if you hit the ground. They just said, ride 'em, cowboy, don't let 'em throw you down. You're the toughest cowboy in town. Traveling with the rodeo, that's the only life I've ever known. It started in New Mexico, must have been 100 years ago. I used to spend my nights out in a barroom. Liquor was the only love I'd known. You rescued me from reaching for the bottle, and you brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy, and I stay stoned on your love all the time. I stay stoned on your love all the time. Would you lay with me in a field of song if my needs were strong? Would you lay with me? Should my lips grow dry, would you wet them, dear, in the midnight hour? Should my lips grow dry, would you go away to another land, walk 1,000 miles through the burning sand, wipe the blood away from my dying hand? If I give myself to you, would you lay with me? Would you bathe with me in a field of snow? Could I hold you down? Would you lay with me in a field of stone? 'Cause old flames can't hold a candle to you. No one lights up my life like you do. Flickering embers of love, well, I've known quite a few. And old flames can't hold a candle to you. That's from Joe's son for you. 'Cause 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 Thank you so much. Mona Lisa lost her smile, and the painter's hands are trembling now. And if she's out there running wild, it's just because I taught her how. And the masterpiece that we had planned lay shattered on the ground. Mona Lisa lost her smile, and the painter's hands are trembling now. And the eyes that used to burn for me now no longer look my way. And the love that used to be, why, it soon got lost in yesterday. And if she seems cold to the touch, well, there used to burn a flame. I gave too little, took too much, until I erased the painter's name. Mona Lisa lost her smile, and the painter's hands are trembling now. And if she's out there running wild, it's just because I taught her how. And the masterpiece that we had planned, why, it's laid shattered on the ground. Mona Lisa lost her smile, and the painter's hands are trembling now.
Champion of the world. You may be a socialite with a long string of pearls. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Well, it might be the devil, and it might be the Lord. You're gonna have to serve somebody. You may be a construction worker working on a home. You might be living in a mansion, and you might live in a dome. You may own guns, you may even own tanks. You may be somebody's landlord, you might even own your own bank. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Serve somebody. It might be the devil, and it might be the Lord. You're gonna have to serve somebody. You may be a state trooper, you might be a young Turk. You may even be the the head of some great big TV network. You may be rich or poor, and you may be blind and lame. Living in another country under another name, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Serve somebody. Serve somebody. It might be the devil, and it might be the Lord. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Well, a lady came up to me the other night after one of my shows, and she said, David Allan Coe, I just don't understand. I'm a little confused. I said, what's the matter? She said, I read all this stuff about you in the newspaper, and I come to see you tonight, and you're singing with your little boy and your wife, and you're singing songs about Jesus Christ. I sure am confused. I said, lady, I've always sung songs about Jesus Christ. And she says, well, I've got a lot of your records, and I've never heard one. I said, well, what's your favorite song of mine? She said, you never even call me by my name. I said, well, let's just go back that far. That was 1975. But it seems to me that the third verse of that song says, and the only time I know I'll hear David Allan Coe is when Jesus has his final judgment day. She said, well, I never heard that line. I said, that's because you only ever heard the line about my mama getting run over by a damned old train. She said, well, I'm still pretty confused. She said, in the newspaper, they had a bunch of your album titles in there, and one of them called you a Longhaired Redneck, and one of them called you the Mysterious Rhinestone Cowboy, and one of them said you was an outlaw, and she said, I don't even know what to call you anymore. I said, well, why don't you just call me Terry? Well, that might be too long. Maybe you better call me Mo. I don't know. If you want to get a little personal, you could call me David. No, lady, you better just call me David Allan Coe. You can call me RJ, or you can call me Ray. You can call me anything, lady. I don't care what you say. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Serve somebody. Serve somebody. Well, it might be the devil, and it might be the Lord. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Well, it might be the devil. Yes, and it might be the Lord. But you're still gonna have to serve somebody. Kirby DJ swear that I'm an outlaw. They never come to see me in this dive, where bikers stare at cowboys that are laughing at the hippies that are praying they'll get out of here alive. Get a loud mouth in the corners getting to me, talking about my earrings and my hair. I guess he ain't read the signs that said I've been to prison. Someone ought to warn him before I knock him off his chair, 'cause my long hair just can't cover up my redneck. I've won every fight I ever fought, and I don't need some turkey telling me that I ain't country, saying I ain't worth the damn no ticket that he bought. 'Cause I can sing all them songs about Texas, and I still do all the sad ones that I know. They tell me I look like Merle Haggard, and I sound a lot like David Allan Coe. And they barred me in the last town that we played in, knew the words to every song I'd wrote. She said, Jimmy Rabbit turned her on to my last album, just about the time the jukebox broke. Yeah, Johnny Cash helped me get out of prison, long before Rodriguez stole that goat. I've been the Rhinestone Cowboy for so long I can't remember, and I can do you rather sing songs that I wrote myself. Maybe you remember this one from 1973. Jack Daniels, if you please. Knock me to my knees. You're the only friend there has ever been that didn't do me wrong. Jack Daniels, if you please. Knock me to my knees. You can kill this pain, it's driving me insane since my baby's gone. Maybe you remember this song that I wrote 1978 for a young man named Johnny Paycheck. Take this job and shut it. I ain't working here no more. A woman done left and took all the reasons that I was working for. You better not try to stand in my way when I'm walking out the door. Take this job and shut it. I ain't working here no more. I've been working in this factory pretty close to 15 years. Seen some of my best friends women standing in a pool of tears. Seen a lot of kin folks die, had a lot of bills to pay. Lord, I give the shirt right off in my back if I had the guts to say, hello, my name's Johnny Cash. Takes a lot of nerve, don't it? Well, maybe you remember this song. I wrote this a couple years ago for my little boy when he was born. And somebody accused me and Willie Nelson and a lot of the rest of us for starting a new kind of music called outlaw country music. And somebody asked me one time what I thought about all of that stuff that we was doing in the early years. And I wrote this song for my little boy. It kind of explains it to you. It goes like this. Just as loud as they will go. I'm in Leonard Skinner, the Allen Brothers, and David Allan Coe. I like Willie, Waylon, George, and Merwin, a lot of ZZ Top. They country soul, rock and roll. I hope they never stop, 'cause I'm a redneck, a rock and roll solid sound. I don't like nothing with disco bands around. Got a 1965 Harley chopper, sure makes those women still. A dead flamingo wrapped around this cowboy hat I wear. Well, I can cuss, fight, spit, belch, and raise all kinds of hell. If you want a face, you just name the place and promise not to tell. 'Cause I'm a redneck, rock and roll solid sound. I don't like no little disco bands around. Drink couple dozen beers, go out and dance again. Yeah, I'm a long-haired redneck, rock and roll solid sound. Make me ill. If someone touches my Stetson hat, I get mad enough to kill. I got a rifle rack in my pickup truck, I'm a four-wheeling maniac. If you want to race Can't you just name the place and I'll show you where it's at? Jack, I'm a redneck, rock and roll song of South. Don't like all them big disco bands around. Gonna drink a couple of the beer. They gonna have a jazz again. Yeah, I'm a long-haired redneck, rock and roll song of South. Yeah, I'm a long-haired redneck, rock and roll song of South. Yeah, I'm a long-haired redneck, rock and roll song of South. I was coming from Montgomery. I had my guitar on my back when this stranger stopped beside me in an antique Cadillac. He was dressed like 1950, half drunk and hollow-eyed. Say it's a long walk to Nashville. Would you like to ride? Well, I sat down in the front seat, turned on the radio. Them sad old songs coming out of them speakers was solid country gold. And I noticed the stranger was gonna swipe pale when I asked him for a light. I knew there was something strange about this room. He said, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? And if they pay your dues, can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings? Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? If you're a big star, girl, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride. And he cried just south of Nashville, and he turned that car around. He said, this is where you get off, son, but I'm going back to Alabama. I stepped out of the Cadillac. I said, Mr. Many thanks. He said, you don't have to call me Mr. Mister. Oh, call me Hank. He said, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Can you pay your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings? Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? If you're a big star now, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride. He said, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Can you pay your dues? times in your phone book. Hello, hello. And I read it. Oh no, son, we're on the way. But the only time I know I'll hear David Allan Coe is when Jesus has his final judgment day. And I'll hang around as long as you will let me. And I never mind it standing in the rain. You don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even called me by my name. Well, a friend of mine named Steve Goodman wrote that song. And he told me it was the perfect country and western song. I wrote him back a letter and I told him it was not the perfect country and western song because he hadn't said anything at all about mama or trains or trucks or prisons or getting drunk. Well, he wrote another verse to the song and he sent it to me, and after reading it I realized that my friend had written the perfect country and western song. And I felt obliged to put it out as my third record. The last verse went like this. I was drunk the day my mom got out of prison. And I went pick her up in the rain. But before I could get to the station in my pickup truck, what happened, London? Well, I've got my full pedal steel player Jimmy playing steel, and he's acting like it's his whole world. And them green-eyed fillies and them city hillbillies looking up at me like I was Merle. And if I can't fool you all the time, well, that's all right with me. Those are still my songs, ain't nothing wrong, and I wasn't born in Tennessee. You know, a lot of people think you got to be born in Tennessee to be a country songwriter and a singer. I was born in Akron, Ohio. And Merle Haggard was born in Oklahoma. We're going to do this song for Merle. We don't smoke marijuana in Muskogee. We don't take our trips on LSD. We don't burn our draft cards down on Main Street. We like living right and being free. Well, I heard Merle Haggard singing about doing his thing, and I was proud of the things he'd done. And them L.A. hippies and them San Fran yippies ain't changing that Okie none. But with every show, I see his sideburns growing, and there's hair where his face used to be. In a year or so, you'll never know that he wasn't born in Tennessee. I was 20 and 10 years and hiding my fears behind the sounds of a steel guitar. And we was country and rockin', and Lord, we was sockin' it to him in them Texas bars. And them Austin folks, they was digging my strokes. And if that don't qualify me, those are still my songs, ain't nothing wrong. And I wasn't born in Tennessee. Still my songs, ain't nothing wrong. And I wasn't born on a farm. I never knew a horse I didn't wager on. I wasn't born in Tennessee. I've been waiting all night to get a reaction out of you. And I finally got one. He sat there like this staring at me all night like, okay, boy, show me what you can do. And I finally got to you. Stand up and take a bow there. Come on, stand up and let them see you. Don't be embarrassed now. See him right there with the white shirt on and the little thing in his pocket, right? Yeah, right there. We're gonna do this song. Is that your wife with you? We're gonna do this song for y'all. I'd like to thank you for coming to see us. Sincerely thank you. I hope if you, rest of the tour, you get the chance to come and see us again. This is a new album that was released last year over here in Europe on the Sun record label. And the song was written by a friend of mine named Chris Christopherson. Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasure I've known? Tell me, Lord, what did I ever do that was worth loving you in the kindness you show? Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I've needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hand. Try me, Lord, if you think there's a way I could ever repay all I've taken from you. Maybe, Lord, I could show someone else what I've been through myself on my way back to you. Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I've needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hand. Jesus, my soul's in your hand. Thank you so much.